Hey guys, it's Vanessa. I'm here today to do a tutorial for the look that I'm wearing. Now this tutorial is actually kind of specific and I did it for my coworker and dear friend Ashley. I do her makeup all the time, and of course anyone who enters my life, I slowly get them addicted to the makeup. So Ashley is trying to master her, her signature look, her everyday makeup look, and also a look that she can wear to events. So I did this look for her for a couple holiday parties for she had coming up. So she came over and I did half her face, and then she did the other half, and then went home and forgot a lot of it. So I told her I would do a video for her so that for the next event she is prepared. So this is what we came up with, and on to the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy it. Bye. So before we start, what you're going to want to do is obviously start with a clean face, and before you put on any makeup, and actually right after you wash your face, like whether that's in the shower or what have you, you are going to want to apply your moisturizer, and this is going to give it a chance to have completely sinked in by the time you get to your foundation. So you start with the moisturizer. If you have oilier skin or you're going for a night out and you want to make sure that it lasts all day, you're going to want to follow it up with a primer. If you are someone who gets oilier in certain places and you're much drier on other places, you can put this on the parts that are just oily, because it's basically going to control, the oil breaking through. So those are the parts that your makeup is going to come off first. So on your forehead normally, the nose, chin, kind of the center of the face. Some people do have oilier cheeks, so wherever you're the oiliest, you can just put your primer on there. And then as always, of course, you're going to do some lip balm prior to putting on your makeup, and again that gives it a chance to sink in. Okay, so now onto the eyes. So you're going to start with a primer. Now the primer's main job is just like the face primer. It stops oils from breaking through. So I always apply this because I have oily lids. I feel like most people have fairly oily lids, so primer is definitely important. And then I just rub that in with my finger using a light touch. When you're doing something like a primer or like a base, you don't want to do like a back and forth motion, because that could create your eye to be a little crepey. So you just kind of want to lightly blend it in. So once you've laid down your primer, another additional step you can take is a base. Now the base is also going to help keep your shadow on longer, but a base is also going to really help your shadows pop out. It's just like using a base when painting a house, or in painting, you just want like this blank canvas so that your eyeshadow can really stand out. So this is really going to block out any colors like veining and stuff that you may have on your lid. Put your bases on, you're going to go with your first color, and I'm going to go in with a very light kind of highlightery color, like an off-white, and I'm going to load, this is the Delium Tool 774, so like a fairly large shader brush, and I'm going to take this all over my lid, and I'm going to pat it before swiping it to build up the color, especially on the lid. That's where I want this color to be the strongest. So patting and then kind of swiping as you pat, but not like rubbing back and forth, but just kind of light strokes. And then I'm also going to take this color underneath the brow bone. And here I don't want to pat it on as much. This one I do just want to kind of quickly swipe it. Also in the inner tear duct area. I'm going to take like a fluffy blending brush like this one. This one is from MAC 224, but any big fluffy blending brush will do. And you want to go into a medium brown color. So depending your skin tone, that could be any of these four colors. You basically want a brown that is about a shade or two tanner than you are. And this is what you've heard a lot of people call the buddy color, and it's just really like the game changer in makeup. It totally adds definition to your eye, and it's kind of like contouring for your eye. So you're going to start on the outer corner, and in circular motions and back and forth windshield wiper motions, you're going to place that in the crease. So although we just have two colors on our eyes, if you're in a rush, you could just do liner, mascara, the rest of your face, and lipstick, and you are good to go. So this is for those days where you're really late for work, but you want to look presentable. This is like an easy look you can do. But of course, if you have a little bit more time, we're going to take it a little bit further, and we're going to keep going. I'm going to take a smaller shader brush, and this is the Delium Tool 772. So I'm going to go in with this kind of mauve-y purple right here. I'm going to load the brush, and I'm going to place this kind of on the outer parts of the eye at the lash line, and then going kind of like in a C motion on the outside of the eye. And you kind of basically want to cover like the last third of your eye, and just patting it, building it as I do that kind of C motion. Bringing it in a little. And now we're going to take our blending brush again. We're not putting any more color on it. We're just going to go back and forth over that purple to kind of blend it out. And if you feel like you lost some color, you can go back in and just keep building and blending until you're happy with it. Again, at this step, you could just do liner and be done with it and do the rest of your face. And this would be a good, like, everyday look once it's all complete, of course. You're going to take a black liner pencil, and you're also going to take a kind of smudgy brush, just any small brush that, you know, you can get on the lash line. This is the Delium Tools 716. Now, you're going to have this one handy because this pencil kind of tends to set pretty quickly. So what you're going to want to do is do a fairly thin line at the lash line with your pencil. And then you're going to take your brush into this kind of darker purple. And you're going to blend the purple into the pencil and smudge that pencil out. If you're going out and you want to up the ante even more, you can go back with your smaller brush, and you can go into a black or just really dark color like this one. And on the outer corner of the eye, you are going to make a V shape like so, and kind of make sure that the V's filled in a bit. And then, just like we did with the purple earlier, we're just going to go in with the blending brush to kind of smooth that out so it doesn't look so harsh. And if you go in small circular motions first, this is the best. And then kind of the windshield wiper afterwards. And don't worry about being messy, because that's why I don't do my foundation first, because you can clean that up later. If you need help blending in the darker color, if you have like a darker black than this, you could just go into any of the two purples you used before and kind of go over that black a little, and it'll stay dark, but it'll kind of help it look a little more natural. As natural as a smoky eye can look, I guess. Then we're going to go back with the very first brush we used, and we're going to go back into that very first color we used. And we're going to repeat this step on the brow bone, just so when you do it again, it kind of helps smooth that crease edge. And you can even go on the sides and just kind of clean up that shape. Then if you want to curl your lashes at this point, you would curl your lashes and apply mascara. Also, if you were going out, this would be the point where you would apply your false lashes. If you have bigger eyes or you want a smokier look, you can go in with your black pencil and rim the inner rims of your eyes. I personally don't do that because it closes out my eyes, which are a little bit smaller, and I kind of just don't want to do that today. So now I'm going to clean up under my eyes just using a wipe. To apply your concealer, I'm using the Eve Pearl Salmon Concealer in Light. You can apply this with your fingers or with any concealer brush you prefer. I really like this duo fiber brush from MAC or something similar, because I feel like it gives an airbrush finish under the eye. So I just take a little bit, and under the eye I kind of go and make a triangle. I'll come back to that one. I make like a triangle, and then I just kind of fill it in and blur this out until I don't see any harsh lines. Once my concealer has been put on, I use a powder to set it. And this is the Laura Mercier Undercover Camouflage Concealer that my coworker actually gave me. And I just use the powder on the bottom regardless of what concealer I use. And I use this Real Techniques little fluffy brush. If you have an extra one, let's see if I can find it. If you have an extra one like this, you can use that as well. So I'm just going to take some of the powder, tap off the excess, and then I'm just going to pat this on over the powder, or over the concealer, I'm sorry. Next, I'm going to apply my foundation. My coworker Ashley, who I'm making this video for, has the Eve Pearl Duo Salmon or Duo HD foundation, which I recommended to her. So Ashley, if you need a reminder on how to put that on, I'll put the link here. But I'm going to go and put on my foundation off camera, and then I will be back. So my camera kind of crapped out for a little bit. So I already did the steps, so now I have to kind of go over them. So if it looks a little dark, I apologize, but I have to redo it so you can see thanks to my camera. So I'm going to take a tapered face brush. This is the MAC 138, and I'm going to go into a bronzer. And first I'm going to get the tip, really the only part of the brush with color on it. And I'm going to just kind of sculpt, if you will, the cheek right here in the hollows of the cheek. And I'm going to go from, think of it as the top of your ear towards your mouth, but do not connect it to your mouth. You kind of don't want to get past this area. So you're just going to kind of do that, and it's going to look a little harsh, but then we're going to take the full body of the brush, tap it off, and then we're going to do E's and 3's to kind of blend it in. You're going to get your nose as well. Now, if you want to contour your nose, you can use your bronzer if it's not too orange, and you just need like a small brush. You can use the one that you used under your eyes. And you're just going to take like this, where the natural shadow right here of your inner corner is. You're going to start there and follow that down your nose. And if you want to do the underneath, if you feel your nose is too long or anything, but if not, that's fine. And this will help create a bridge on your nose. And then if you want to kind of highlight that more, you would take your first eyeshadow color that you use and then kind of just run it down the nose, like so. So now I was on the blush. As you can kind of see, it's already on my face. I'm going to use a skunk brush, stippling brush in a medium size into one of these Oil of Olay and CoverGirl cream blushes. The person that I'm doing this video for, my dear coworker friend Ashley, she has drier skin, so this actually really looks good on her. And even though you might have like powders going on, this is fine. You can even do it over a powder. I've done it before and it's not a big deal. So I normally just tap this a couple times until I see color on my brush tip, and then I pounce it once or twice on my hand just to ensure that I don't get like clown face when I put it on. And the way that I apply it is I smile and I find the apples of my cheek, which is the round part of your cheek, and you pounce it, pushing it backwards, kind of sculpting up always. And then once I've like gotten some color on there, I'll start swirling it in. I'm just kind of blending it until, you know, it's up to my liking. Then I'm going to take a liquid highlighter. This one is from Benefit and it's called High Beam. And we're going to just highlight our cheekbones. Again, especially if you have dry skin, this is going to help give the illusion that you have, that your skin is more hydrated and, you know, beautiful and glowy. So we're just going to do a couple dots on the side of our faces in little C's going on the top of your cheekbones to your temples. And we're just going to blend it in with our finger, using kind of like a tap and then pulling like this. This is what it would look like in slow motion. But just a rubbing in motion. You have to work a little fast with this or you could get like splotches because it does set. But this will give you a really nice glow in pictures. And you can also do a tiny bit right above your lip and down your nose. Now you're going to want to set your makeup with a powder, and this is going to help it stay all day. I personally like to use like a loose powder because I just think it's a little finer and it's not as much color. But I know Ashley has a pressed powder, so I'm going to show you how to do it with that. And this pressed powder, and I believe hers too, doesn't have a ton of coverage. It's not like a very heavy... see how you can kind of still see my skin through it? It's not a very heavy formula. It's very lightweight. So you can take a flat top brush like this and load it up. And the heavier brush is going to give you more coverage, so you do want to tap most of that off. And then what you want to do is just press it into the skin, focusing on the areas that are going to... that oil is going to come out more. So like my forehead gets really oily, I'm really going to push it in there, around my nose. For me, it's more the center of the face. Whoops. I'm going to go back and do the eyebrows, which I forgot about earlier. So I'm just going to take my spoolie brush and I'm going to brush all the hairs up and then over. And then I'm going to take an angled liner brush. You can use a flatter one as long as it's just like a thin brush is going to be what you're going to use if you're going to use powder. And then you want, for Ashley's color, you're going to want a color kind of like this, which looks really light, but it works on the brows. And basically, it's just a color that sits between like an ash, gray, and a brown. And that is really going to create shade in a darker eyebrow. And you're just going to fill in the sparse areas. And you don't have to draw anything. It's just small little flicks to kind of make your lash look fuller. You just go in with Then I normally go in with my spoolie and just kind of distribute the color and knock off some of the color as well while I'm doing that. And I'll take my finger and just kind of run it through to make sure it's good to go. Next is the lips, and I'm going to put on my glasses because I feel very blind. So for the lips, I'm going to show you two different kind of looks you can do. The first one is just straight out the tube everyday. This is kind of an Ashley-like color. And these colors in general I think are great for everyday because they're subtle. They have like a nice color to them. So you do look made up without it being like a dead nude. But it's not like cray-cray, a lot of makeup. And it looks really good with a lot of different makeup looks. Now, this is fine and dandy. Rub that in a bit. But if you want to intensify that a little bit for like a party or an event, especially this time of year, the darker lip is really cool. Instead of going out and buying another lipstick, you can just get an inexpensive lip liner. This one's Wet n Wild. They're $1. And you want to get it in a deeper color and lay that down as your base. Lining first and then filling in. So now that our lips are filled in, we will go back with our everyday lipstick, which is now going to have a whole new life. And you're just going to put it on, and you can see that it's a much darker look. And then something that I like to do whenever I do a lip, like a darker lip, is just put in a little touch of a lighter gloss in the center. I have another color I like better, but this one will do. And this will just give the lip more dimension. And you don't want to put it all over and have like this super glossy lip, just right in the center. Always finish with a spritzer of some kind. This Yum. And after I spray this, I always go in, I'll just reuse this one, but I always go in with a clean blending brush, and then I just kind of tap in for a nice finish. So now I'm going to just give you guys a closer look. So I think this is a really nice, basic, grown-up look. If you are, you know, getting a little bit older and you're ready to have like your set makeup look. I think I use the colors that I know that Ashley has, but I do feel that these colors complement almost every single skin tone and eye color. So I think that this would work really well for a lot of you kind of people who are ready to have a more elevated look. This is also a great look, like I said, for everyday work. That can go into like work events, work parties, that sort of thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Miss Ashley, I hope that you wear this to work tomorrow. And that's it. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.